your perspective on the 90 minutes?
Yeah, congratulations to the team. Congratulations, so proud of the players today. Really, very, very, very proud of the players today. Not an easy one, but if you look at holistically, even the numbers, 4 big chances for us, 0 for them, and very, very good team. 0 big chances. We gave them nothing. In the attempts to block our build-up, they tried 13 times, nothing came off. Okay, in the second half we didn't build up so good, especially once we went 1 man down. But okay, the pressure was there, and the players decided to be a bit more conservative. But very proud of the players, proud of their effort, and proud of the result. And congratulations to the players and to the team, and congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. Happy for the Yellow Nation.
Questions from the floor?
Yeah.
There's only never any stand up.
Yeah. Sure, no.
Last season, I can't remember if it was last season or the season before, you spoke about training the whole squad instead of like the starting 11.
Yeah.
With the quality that you have, and you make 8 changes against TS Galaxy, and then the fluidity is still the same, and the players are still the same.
Yeah.
Playing at the same level, you are still winning. What does it take to keep the squad competitive, having such a big squad?
Yeah, you got to make them feel like they are part of the process, and of course, well, that's why we train for that. That's why we play even friendly matches for that. Even when we have, for an example, once we went to Mokwena, we went into a situation where we had to get to a level where everyone was getting 90 minutes, but we would play 2 times 90 minutes, for an example, and we would not leave one group behind the other group. And so, but also compliments to them, because they are good human beings, and good human beings before they are good football players, and they compete without a toxic feeling amongst each other. It's healthy competition. And it helps. It helps that the good football players are good people, and that makes them feel part of the process, and that assists greatly.
Coach, did you find it rather odd how the decision for the red card and the consultation around it came about? Because one of the things that we don't have VAR in this country, and then you've got situations like that, and I think following to that, when you've got, games always give you different situations where you have to react, and I think instinctively one would have thought you would just try to defend and take a 1-goal lead, but you still go on and score. How do you look at that situation where the team still plays, even though they've got this different situation of we've got a man down, not used to, but still play in the manner that they do?
Yeah, good question. I don't want to speak too much about the situation with the referees. I don't speak a lot. In fact, I don't speak about referees. I'm not paid for that, so I don't speak about that. About the situation with regards to how we responded, that's how we are built. It's the DNA of the club. It's the DNA of the group. It's the DNA of the team. The team is not built to absorb pressure and to defend deep in the block and hit on counter-attack. It's not a squad that is profiled like that, with recruitment and with training. And so I'm not surprised that we still went and tried to play the way we train. And even though it was very, very difficult, and we had some moments where we had to suffer, which is good for us in terms of the big games that are still coming up with the Super League and Champions League. But we always show that we are prepared to run. I say to the players, when we have the ball, we play like a big team. We are brave, and they know I don't like it when they hide, even when it's very, very difficult. But at the same time, when we don't have the ball, we suffer, and we run like a smaller club that's got a lot of humility with the players, and we have one thing you you will always find is that personality. We will play with intensity. We will run. When we don't have the ball, and we'll try our level best all the time to have the ball and dominate. And there were moments that were very good for us today. A few moments where I didn't like the personnel, but most of the moments I liked today a lot.
Coach, Kamukolo from Soccer.
Sure, Kam.
Congratulations on the win. First
Thank you, Kam.
Mokwena and Ronald Williams have been arguably your best players this whole season. And they've started almost every game in the league up until the TS game. Is the idea with the both of them to wrap them around cotton wool, like you said, in anticipation of continental football that's coming up?
I wish I could say wrap them with cotton wool, but the long and short of it is that yes, it's just rotation and giving others a fair chance also, which is and I think they've done very, very well. AJ has been superb in the last 2 games. Zungu has had some very good minutes for him and to build him, and he's had very good possibilities. And then of course Dennis Onyango is Dennis Onyango. You know, he's been in that space, and then that also gives you an opportunity to have Kennedy on the bench, to have Riyad on the bench, to still also be part of the group. And that helps a lot with the group dynamics, and especially because of the leadership status. But as I always say to you guys, I don't like to speak about individuals because football, being the sport that it is a team sport, and it's huge compliments to everybody, because there's a lot of hard work that goes in behind the scenes, from the coaches to the management to everybody. So. A collective effort and an effort that needs to be applauded as a collective.
Yeah, Coach, I just want to look at, you talk about your haptic program going forward, and I was looking at Al Hilal. I think they're in Tanzania, playing a series of matches there. I saw your advanced team in Cameroon already. Is the mode already changing? Already looking forward to the intensity of those matches, and also, has AJ played his last game for you as Sundowns, or things could still change with the window closing on Tuesday?
I've spoken a lot about AJ, so I don't wanna go into that space. I've already spoken, and my feelings are very consistent. And also I've got to speak not just in my capacity, but I've got to speak on behalf of the club. So I don't want to go into that space, because if I speak, then it's easy to be taken out of context. And I've already said that the issue lies with management. And once there is further updates with regards to the situation, the management will update. But you know my feelings personally about his importance and his role within the group. Focus on Champions League, for sure. Champions League is a different space, much more intensive, and of course then we have to try to anticipate and try to look at the fixtures, but how we work is one game at a time. And now the biggest focus is on recovering the players, lots of water, lots of rest. We've got 7 days before the next match, so I'll spend a bit of time, fortunately, to watch the next opposition, and but first is to recover, and then it's first is Pirates first, and before we even start to think about many other things, we one step at a time, one game at a time, and try to win every single match.
Coach,
Sure, Lawrence.
11 goal contributions for Cassius this season.
Is that so?
The Black Label Cup. Is it something that surprised you, or was it something that you knew was in his locker that he can hit the ground running?
Kashi has got a lot of potential still. I say to you guys, if there is one person that the younger ones, I'm very protective of the younger ones, you know, because I've seen it in South Africa before, and many a times where we you know, it's called the curse of the rising star. You know, it's the curse. It's you see the shooting star is shooting, and then you make a wish, and just before you finish making a wish, it disappears. So I'm very, very cautious about the young ones, and I plead always for patience. protect them, put them a little bit in the space where you don't give them too much attention and too much limelight, spotlight, and allow them to come through and grow, and if they have that environment, they very similar to how Percy had not a lot of glitz and glam. Madisha the late, not a lot of glitz and glam. Mkhulisi the late, not a lot of glitz. Sorry, yo, God forbid. Mkhulisi, not a lot of glitz and glam. Came through the ranks, and then when he needed the shine, he got the shine. But still be very careful with Cassius, because there's a lot to improve. You saw it even now when he plays, and he played against Jima and Cardoso. And he has to play now, because we are one man short. He has to play more for the space in front, because the block is a little bit deeper. And then he's got to link up and hold up the play and wait for the players to move a little bit closer. He struggles still with that. So there's so much to improve for Cassius, but we will get there.
Can we have the last 3 questions? Karabo.
Last 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, Coach.
Sure, Karab.
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Coach,
Congratulations to the team.
There was a lot of noise midweek in regards to fair play, this and that. I also had an opportunity, in regards to speak to your former coach that you worked with, 3-time Champions League winner. And he's spoken glowingly about you. You don't sleep, the hard work that you put in, the player development and so forth. How does it make you feel that, albeit people say financial fair play, but the man that's achieved so much still speaks so highly of you?
Yeah, I can only speak in glowing terms. I know South Africa would love for it to be a spicy relationship with, but people don't know. I consider Coach Pitso not just a mentor, but a father figure for sure. And because he played with my father, he did. They shared the pitch. He's a very close family friend. He's a Sundowns man. He's done so much for this football club, and regarded as, for sure and rightfully so, as an icon, and will go into the books of this club as that. And the contribution he's made I was listening to Arteta speak about Pep, and I could speak and go on and run out of superlatives, because he's taught me a lot, and for that I will always be extremely grateful. For the support and the education that he's embedded into my career, and I'm only humbled that he can say what he says, but he knows also the influence that is imparted into my career, and for that I will always be grateful.
A lot of emotions, Coach. Is it that deep?
Yeah, well, it has to be, because I don't think I would be where I am today without the role that he's played, for sure. So he knows that, though. People have to be given their flowers while they still can receive them, and he knows that. I don't shy away from telling him. And as I say, a lot of people would love it to be spicy, but it's far from that. Very, very far from that.
Can it be one question each? Because I see more hands coming up.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations, Coach. With all of you Saturday. Great shift.
Thanks, Lonnie.
Fiso on the left.
Yeah.
Is it going to give you a headache when Modiba comes back there, or you want to keep him just there?
Good headache. Very good. It's a few moments were also at Fiso. What I like is I speak before, and when I say to you, a few moments where Fiso thinks there's and you see when we went to a back three, he's very comfortable, because he has a lateral center half to cover the space behind. So when I spoke about Sifiso's evolution in terms of playing in a back four, a lot of people but you see it sometimes even on the pitch. He controls the space in front, especially in possession. The space in front much better than he controls the space behind, but that's because of the playing 4 or 5 seasons in a back three with a wing back sort of role. But a lot of work, lot of work still to be done. But the past 2 games he's been very, very good, Sifiso, very, very good, but so has the team. You know, I've liked the performance of the team the last 2 games, I must tell you. And the personality has been good, the usage of the ball has been good, and the press has been good, the build-up schemes have been good, and the willingness to want to play, the energy, you know. So when you speak of Sifiso, you can speak of almost all these players that have played the last 2 games, because they've put their hand up and they've provided us with very, very good, healthy competition.
Okay, Davies, Kepe, then Kens.
Coach, midweek I saw on the bench you had the boy Carlsen.
Yep.
Interestingly, I had watched him a weekend before in the DTC lightning pace. I've been seeing all these youngsters you've been bringing. Is the model been tweaked a bit? Because it's not been like that in the past. So are you tweaking the model? And also...
One question.
Yeah, no, still within that. Because normally also you send your players out, especially those coming from down there. But with Mailuna, it's been different. Straight to the team.
Yeah, Jerome has got a bright, again, same with Cassius. And maybe it's also because of my background as a youth coach, you know, having spent a lot of time at Platinum Stars with the likes of Dina Ndlovu, for an example, with the youth, being at Mamelodi Sundowns with the youth, and even when I was at my former club, and we had players like Thabiso Monyane, for an example, coming through. For me, I like this feeling, and I think the Mamelodi Sundowns fans like this feeling, where there's a player that they can connect to and connect with, because he comes from the academy, he has that feeling of the club and what it takes to achieve, and that's why they love the Yellow Nation loves Kulisi, they love Pesitao. They'll always have that relationship with him, and these players have this connection, you know, with the supporters, because they come from the youth within the structures. But when you speak about these players, you cannot then also turn a blind eye to the hard work that's being done in the academy and in the development structures by David Notwane, Surprise Muriri, Godfrey Sapula, Sean Bishop, and the likes. Sam Mbata also, with a lot of experience with working with youth and producing very good players, and so, but also very calm, because we are trying to teach Jerome a lot of things. So it needs a bit of time and patience, but it's gonna come. We have to do more in terms of giving opportunities to these kids. It's important, very, very important. Not just as I say for the supporters, but also for the return in investment for the club. The club puts a lot of resources into that space. And so when a lot of people are going out to look for players, the first for us is to start there. And maybe, as I said, it's because I'm victim of my past, you know. I'm as a youth coach, and for sure I try to start within the club structures first.
Coach, when you look at not just your performances, but how you are being pushed or not in certain matches in the PSL, and you said you want to talk about the games that you play in the Champions League, but you've got Pirates, yes, but now you must start thinking with your own metrics, where are you in as far as competing in the Champions League for different demands of that space? Where would you say the PSL has put you this season for that kind of challenge?
We'll only know once we go to it, once we start going. But the PSL is extremely competitive. You know, sometimes you win games and people think it's a God-given right to win games. It's very difficult to win games in the PSL. It's very, very difficult. And you only have to look at why others are not doing what we are doing. It's because it's very difficult, because otherwise everybody would do it. You know, it's not easy, and that's why I sit here and I say compliments to the players. The game belongs to the players, and I applaud them all the time, but it's not because I've got nothing else to say. It is because it's genuinely well deserved praise. You know, if you look at a lot of teams, Real Madrid to go to a different level needed a Barca. Bayern needed a Dortmund at times to push them. And you go, Man City needed a Liverpool. You know, without a rival going extremely intense with you, it becomes very, very difficult psychologically to continue on an upward trajectory. But this group of players, we come every day. We work very, very hard for every single action, from videos to corrections, to opposition analysis, to training where every ball counts and every training session matters and every action on the pitch matters. And to have that is that demand is not easier. Is not easy, and we should not because it happens. It should not be embedded in under no circumstances for people to perceive it as a God-given right or very, very easy. It's incredible what this group of players continues to do every single day. It's incredible. And they deserve even more praise than they get, you know, because they are doing it. We think easy, but it's very difficult.
But on your metrics, what are you seeing?
On the metrics, no. Well, we are in line with what you don't know, Skepe, is that we compare ourselves with the best in the world, and we are in line there. 2 weeks ago, I got a report from I won't mention the name, but a European-based analyst that I had asked a friend of mine to do analysis of the team, and he looked at the team. He cut it down into different parts and the set pieces and everything, and the report, you will see the numbers they compare with the best in the world. And that's what we try to do, because that's the space we try to compete with Champions League, with Club World Cup, with the Super League. That's the space we have to be in. And hence, as I say, very proud of the players and incredible effort from the boys.